G'day Pels fans and welcome to Flock, a New Orleans Pelicans podcast. I am your host, Lyle Swithenbank, at Lyle Swithenbank on all the socials, TikTok, YouTube, X of course, and at Lyle Pels on Instagram. Today we are talking about the final game of the preseason. The Pelicans fall short against the Orlando Magic to close out their preseason campaign. We're going to break it all down, so let's get into it. Firstly, thank you for subscribing, and those that have joined recently, thanks for hitting that little subscribe button. I appreciate all the support as we continue to grow and use all these different mediums of communication, YouTube and all of the audio places that you're listening as well. And for all the people that have been here since the beginning on the audio-only version, well, welcome back, and now you get to see me in 1080p as well. The Pelicans fall short in the final game of their preseason, 132-125 in Orlando. No games in New Orleans for preseason. They had the open fan night about a week ago now, and that was sort of the only glimpse that the locals got. We saw them down in Australia for a couple of games, 2 wins there, and then 2 losses. Close one against the Houston Rockets, and a back and forth game against the Orlando Magic. So, what did we see? My first takeaway from this whole preseason, and I suppose if we look holistically, has got to be Zion Williamson. There has been a lot of rhetoric about him throughout the years. We know this. And yes, people have been in, they've been out, they've been off, they've been back in. He looks as good as advertised. He looks as dominant as he could be coming out of college. Has it taken 6 years, 7 years, I suppose, with an asterisk? Yeah. But is this the Zion that we were hoping to see? Absolutely. Is it the end of preseason? Absolutely true as well. But what we can't discount is that there's been a heck of a lot of work that's happened in the off-season for him to get himself in this position. We're seeing more leadership from him. We're seeing him take over games. We're seeing the development of his shot with a mid-range jump shot. He did a little step back in this game. And we'll talk about the actual box score coming up. But I just wanted to call out the improvement from Zion, both physically and also from a skill-based perspective. He's doing different things than we've seen before. Being more aggressive, continuing to play through the contact as we know he could do. But now picking and choosing his poison. That mid-range jumper is something we haven't seen him do consistently, but he's starting to use it a little bit, which is only going to help him in his longevity. Particularly because we know he gets hacked to the living daylights, and just like in this game, it's very hard to get fouls. So, let's head over to the box score. With that being said, I wanted to lead off with that because, credit where credit's due with the big man. Now, in this game, the starters we knew coming into this one were going to be playing a little bit less. There was more in the Houston game. We then cut back for this game. The starters all played around that 22, 23 minute mark. Jordan Poole about 25. Everyone else, in that early 20s. Trey Murphy started slow. Jordan Poole another. Second or third quarter, he got going. Shot starts falling. Less indecisiveness. I think that was really the tale of the first quarter, is this indecision. The commentators holistically commented this is as good as it gets for Orlando in this first 9 minutes. When you're getting a quote like that from the opposing commentary, something's got to change. And thankfully, it really did, because the second and third quarter, there was a concerted effort to change that momentum and start doing the fundamental stuff that they've been practicing. Defending hard, intercepting the passing lanes, making life difficult for their players. They were getting in the first quarter and some ways through the second, balls being advanced from after-made baskets and them getting run-out layups, made free throws, same thing. You can't be giving that up and expecting to win. Silly turnovers based on indecision. And to circle back to Trey Murphy, he was a bit of a culprit in that first quarter. It's not to say that he was bad by any means, but you could see that he was overthinking things, over-dribbling. Thankfully, only one turnover, which was pretty blatant little one, was again, an indecisive sort of pass. But we learn from these things, and that's what I like to see from Trey. He ends up with 18 points, 7 rebounds, which is great because we have no Kevon Looney, as we know, for 2 to 3 weeks at least. And only Eve Messi as the true, probably rotational centre. Hunter Dickinson we'll talk about. But 7 rebounds from Trey, 3 assists, 7 of 14 shooting. So you go and recover in that the rest of the game. 50% field goal percentage is what you can hope for. 4 of 8 shooting from 3. That's what we know Trey does. He hits threes. First quarter, we had 29% from 3. That then changes when the shots start falling. I've got no issue with how he went. On the plus minus, if you're into that sort of stuff, +2 on the day. Great to rescue that percentage or that advanced stats before the end of the preseason and just show, look, when the shot's falling, I'm a very effective player. And being able to do other things, the rebounding is going to be really key for this team, particularly when we're going to play small because we're going to have to because we've got no centres. Zion in 21 minutes, 21-46, about a little bit less than what he's been playing-ish, about average. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 9 of 11, 81% shooting. No threes, but that's expected. 4 turnovers. Now, the difficulty with him and Trey is there were 2 peas in the pot in this because they had no free throw attempts. I don't know how you have guys that live in the paint, and, Trey's an inside-outside guy, but he got in there a fair bit, and get no free throw attempts. Zion, everything he does is in the paint. He gets hacked every time, no free throws. 4 turnovers, but 2 of those were from charges. And if you're going to be giving up, these sort of 50-50 charge calls, you're not going to challenge them in preseason. But guys are going to jump in front of you, and just because of the sheer mass, they're going to let a lot of those go and give you the benefit of the doubt unless you're going to force a challenge and really get these guys to make sure they're standing tall in front of Zion when he comes down the lane. That being said, I thought he was really good. 18 points, the 6 assists were great. Moving the ball, letting guys play off him. I love when he posts up and then he's able to watch these guys move around him and reposition, pass and move, and he'll find you, flick outs to the corners, to the wings. If you pass that ball in, be ready to catch it back and shoot it because he'll find you if he doesn't feel like he's got the proper position to beat him. He'll beat just about anyone, but he's also a willing passer, as we know. Eve Messi, 21 minutes, 6.7 rebounds, 3 of 6. What I liked about Eve in this one is a +7, 0 turnovers. While he only had 1 block, what I liked about Eve in this is his patience. He would get rebounds, and instead of just trying to force it up and, power through a few of these guys, he recognised the situation. Some, he went back up because he knew that's what he needed to do. Other ones, he just took a second. Let me assess. Oh, I've got a guy out there. Let's just kick it out to the perimeter again, and let's reset. Or, hang on, I've got this guy on my back. Let me spin, and a little soft layup. He's active around the rim, and clever to not goaltend in this one. He's a bit notorious for that. He gets a bit excited, wants to dunk it back. He was a bit more measured in this one. Now, I really thought what we saw from Eves was solid in his 21 minutes. Again, we're going to need him to really clunk those rebounds. Long shots mean long rebounds. He's got to keep working on recognising, all right, if we're shooting a lot of threes, that rebound's probably not going to drop directly into your lap like you're expecting if it was a layup or, around the basket. Herb Jones, I thought was exceptional. 7 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 of 4 shooting. That stings because I thought he was awesome. I thought that he was facilitating, he was attacking the paint, he was getting up after it. 5 of 6 free throw attempts. And that shows me that he was doing some things that were a little bit different. Driving into the paint, kicking back out. He threw a lob pass, I think it was to Missy in the third quarter. It was phenomenal. Those are the sorts of things you want to see from Herb. That next step where not only am I a lockdown defender, because he's, box scores, doesn't tell anyone what he's really done, but it's that ability to create for others. And that's what I think is a really exciting prospect from this guy. as he continues to develop, right? Not that we don't know Herb Jones is already a great player, but it's going to help if we have other facilitators. Jordan Poole, probably his best game as a Pelican so far. 21 points in 24 and a half minutes. He had 2 assists and a steal, 7 of 15 shooting, 2 of 8 from 3, struggled from 3, right? What I love about him, 5 of 5 free throws. He has the ability to knife into the paint and draw contact. He's clever. There was a couple where he got the guy on his back. Oh, no, I'll just pull up, bang, and one. Things like that. We haven't had, full credit to CJ. We maybe had it in his earlier years as he sort of got through. Probably in his last year, he was more of a catch and shoot guy. He could still do it, but he was losing a step. Happens to the best of us. Getting a guy that can sort of slither his way into the paint, that's going to help us. It breaks down defenses. The 3-point shot will come. We know that he can make those shots. But 21 points on 7 of 15 shooting, 5 free throws, that does no harm. That does no harm at all to get in there and draw some contact. No turnovers. 2-0 assist to turnover ratio. Nothing wrong with that. So, watch his space. I thought he was good. I thought Jordan Poole was good. I'm hoping he can continue this momentum that he's taken out of this game. Micah Peavy, first off the bench, 24 minutes in this one. No Sadiq Bey. They haven't given us any update on that. I assume he's just rested because he had a pretty heavy preseason so far, and he's shown pretty much all we need to see. Peavy, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 of 4. Looks solid. Missed his 3 points. Look, minus 10 in the plus-minus, but he defends like a madman, but he's a rookie. He's never going to get the calls. They bailed out guys on him. He took on Ben Caro. He took on Franz Wagner at different points. These are all great reps. Will he play much in the season? I think there's potential, but I also think he's behind a lot of guys as well. Is he a Willie Green type player? Absolutely. Mature rookie that comes in, can defend, and can shoot the 3. Hasn't made many, but he can shoot them. I think there's definitely something there. And the fact that he was the first off the bench shows me that it's not that far down the depth chart for him to get some solid minutes. Jeremiah Fears, coming off 20 points on his birthday against the Rockets. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 12, 1 of 4 from 3, 5 of 6 free throws, 3 turnovers, but he's a rookie. What are you going to do? Simply awesome. He does things that we haven't really had at the point guard position. He's so fast. Throws lobs. He drives in. He attacks the paint with reckless abandon. He'll push the ball. He scares defenses as he comes streaming up the court. People don't know what to do with him because he's so fast, and they don't know whether he's going fast or whether he's going to slow down. And that change of pace is such a rare trait in these guards, particularly at that age. The ability to recognize, I'm going to go really quick, but hang on, I'm going to pull it back out. And there was a moment when there was about 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Might have been the third quarter, second or third. And he could have easily gone in, would have given him another shot. If you missed that, well, they're in transition with probably 10 seconds. Pulled it back out. Let's calm down. As a person who is going to be running this offense, the point guard, the coach on the court, you've got to recognize that time, that shot clock, and how much time you've got left, and how much time, should you miss the shot or make it, you give the other team on the way back. So I like that sort of recognition. I also love the rebounding. 6 rebounding for a guard's great. Hunter Dickinson played 23 minutes. He's sort of filled in with Kevon Looney, who's out, as I said. He's a big man. He's a big man. He's not an overly athletic man, but you can't teach tall and you can't teach big. He sets screens. He's got a pretty soft touch around the rim. Can he jump? Not really. Can he run? Not particularly fast, but he just keeps going. He sets screens and he gets out the way and he grabs rebounds when he needs to. So, 12 and 5, 3 assists, 2 steals, 6 of 9. He's a guy that is a perfect two-way player. Is he going to be great for Birmingham? Absolutely. Can he play some spot minutes in the NBA? Probably. Do I hope we have to see much of him? No. That doesn't dismiss that I thought he had a pretty good game. I know on Twitter some people were getting into it. I don't agree with you. That's fine. I thought he was all right. Pass the eye test for me. He'd be a very good NBL player as well. and that's not a slight on him. I just think that's what that size of a bloke really could benefit in. But anyway, maybe one day. Hawkins, a bit of a resurgence, 16 minutes, 15 points, 6 of 11 shooting. He gets himself going with a few of these little mid-ranges and then works his way out. Again, 2 of 7 from 3. His three-point shot has not been his strong suit, but his ability to score points in bunches is what he can do. You know, he probably would have scored more. Bryce McGowan's got on and was getting himself going, ended up with only 2 points himself, but a couple of those other guys started getting their tails up a little bit and wanted to score the ball. Oh, what can you do, you know? Alvarado had a pretty bad game. 0 points, only 13 minutes, but 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Wasn't really a factor. Missed his 3 threes and a turnover. Look, he's had a pretty good preseason. We know what Jose is. Let's let the young guys play. Shoemate come on, 4 points. Trey Alexander 2, and Springer with 2 and an assist. Now, what I liked about this game is that we gave Orlando a bit of a scare. Because they were playing their starters in the last quarter, and yeah, they kept harping, we're going to go undefeated in preseason. They were playing all NBA guys and all stars against two-way players, and we were still hanging around and making ground up on them. Yeah, they blew us out in the end, that's fine, and then there was a bit of like back and forth. Our deep bench is a bit better than theirs. But that's a real testament that you scare a team into playing their players a little bit more, particularly because that's the end of their preseason. And the next game is them ready to rock. So that was just a little side note. Now let's jump over to the team stats and let's just analyse that a little bit, right? Turnovers, we had 15 in this game. Again, they're still pretty high, right? What we did, they had 15 as well. That offsets each other, but where are you turning the ball over? What are they? Live ball turnovers, what do they look like? We have a look at those stats, points off turnovers, 20 to 24. So what that means is that they were better at exploiting our turnovers, right? They were getting back in defense better, or we just weren't, executing when we were turning that, obtaining the turnover off them. There was also opportunities there where they were dead ball turnovers rather than live ball turnovers. You pass the ball out in the passing lane, they're off to the races. They're getting easy ones. We won the rebound count. I thought that was really nice to note, 42 to 38, which, credit to everyone else in this. They're not necessarily that big of a team. Goga Batatse's a big guy. Wendell Carter Jr. is, regular size for a center. Not that big. He had 7. Banchero had 10. No one else really did too much in terms of rebounding. Goga with 5. So when you're getting rebounds from Trey, from Zion, from Missy, we expect that from him. But Herb getting 3, 4 from Peavy, 6 from Fears, 5 from Dickinson. Again, we expect it from the centers. You're getting this team rebounding, which if you're getting it to a guard or a perimeter player, that means we can push. And in times we did, and that's where we caught them lacking a little bit, which I like to see later on in the game. Because we went on a wicked run and actually took the lead in the third quarter, which towards the start of the game I was thinking, this is not looking good. But you stick at it, you realise that 10, 15, 18, that's not that big anymore. You can chase that down, but you can't do it all in one go. So I liked what they did there. 6-6 steals. Fast break points, 15 to 14. We actually won that, so that's good. Offensive rebounds, 15 to 12 to us, which is good. Means you're getting extra possessions. Assists, only 24 on 49 made shots. They had 33, right? So the facilitation is always going to be difficult when you're missing guys like, I suppose, DeJounte Murray gets a few. They were also really good at making you beat them one-on-one or one pass. So if you have to beat teams off the dribble or off offensive rebounding where you're not going to get a number of assists, the hard part there is that it then doesn't reflect very well when it's only about 1 to 2. Is it as bad as it's been? No, but we know when we get up, closer to that 30 mark, we're a pretty competitive team. So hopefully we can do that. 3-pointers, we struggled again. 9 of 31, 29%. And I like that we went away from it a little bit and started driving into the paint. We sort of lived in there, which was good, like we did against the Rockets. The difficulty is that a 3 is worth more than 2. So when they're shooting 14 to 31, 45%, you live and die by the other team being able to make it. And that's going to be a real struggle for us. It shouldn't be, but so far we can't make 3s. So you've got to get Trey going. Hawk has to make 3s when he's playing. Poole has to be better. Herb has to hit 3s and take them. These are things that we need to continue to work on, and that's going to add to spacing, because if the 3's not falling, they're going to collapse the paint and say, we'll dare you. So let's hope that we can continue to improve that. Because, you can't. We're going to get flogged if we keep shooting 29% from 3. We can't do that. And I'm sure it'll even back out. So, that being said, wasn't that bad of a game. Scoreline's doesn't really flatter us. But again, if you look quarter by quarter, it wasn't too bad. First quarter is where we lost it, right? 31 to 21. We couldn't get anything going. We wake up 33 to 23 to us. All of a sudden, it's back on, right? 35 to 31. We win the third quarter. We then only lose the last quarter by 4 points, and they played their starters, way more than we did. Banchero played 29, Wagner 25, Bain 27, Black 20, Jones 23. Like, these guys are playing heavy minutes, and fourth quarter minutes when our guys had sat down halfway through the third or towards the end of the third quarter. So, all in all, a positive finish to the preseason. So, 3 key takeaways from this one. Number 1, Zion looks great. Number 2, Trey and Poole have to shoot the 3 and make the 3. When they settled in, they look good. But let the game breathe. That first quarter, we sort of got a little bit shell-shocked by the Orlando Magic. They wanted to play physical. They wanted to intercept our indecision. And they managed to turn it over and make easy baskets. Made us defend. And if you're caught on the back foot, it's going to be really easy for them to exploit that. So I like that we adapted and then, locked in for that second quarter and answered back, to be fair. Winning that quarter and winning the third as well was really impressive. So I'd say overall, lots to take away from that. The last takeaway is I really like Jeremiah Fears. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be a really good player. There's going to be growing pains. I think he is going to steal some minutes from a few guys. And I think it's deserved. From what we've seen so far, this guy is chomping at the bit to get in the game. And when he does things. You play him with better players, he's going to look even better. How long does it last before he's playing long minutes with Zion, with Trey, with Poole, with Hawk? With Trey, Herb. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. So, all in all, successful campaign. 2-2 on the preseason. You win your Australian ones. You lose your ones against the Rockets and by 2 by a game winner, and a little bit 8 by 7 against Orlando. So all in all, that's fine. That's okay. That's what preseason doesn't count for anything. You're back to 0-0 against Memphis. That being said, we go to Memphis for Wednesday night. That's going to be a really great game. Memphis have had a bit of I suppose they've been beating us a fair bit. It'll be good to come back and really set the tone to start the season. I think we're in better health than them. They've got JJJ out still. It'll be good to just come out and say, let's settle in and play our game, and we can deal with Jar. They got no Bain. It's going to be interesting to see what they look like. So I think we've got a real opportunity to come out and surprise some people on opening night. And I hope we can start fast because we're going to need to in the West, as we've said on here numerous times. So, final thoughts. We're missing Looney. Derek Queen, there was an update on him by Willie Green saying that he is moving towards contact drills, which is great, and it's credit to him. He stayed really fit with his broken hand. So, it's coming together. Where the cavalry's coming. We'll get to see a bit of Derek Queen. I don't know what he's going to look like when he comes out. I hope he can be as aggressive as he was in Summer League. I think he's going to be able to be put in positions to be successful, probably more so than in Summer League. If you're a big man, you shouldn't have to go and ball hunt yourself. You should be fed it. And I think he should be good playing alongside Zion, playing alongside guys that will give him the ball and put him in those positions to be successful. So I think we'll leave it at that. That was my match review of the Orlando Magic. I'm looking forward to the season kicking off. We'll get another show out, should there be any updates, and then we'll start, these post-match reviews pretty much every game. As much as we can get them out, we're going to be doing them. So, this has been Flock. I'm your host, Lyle Swithenbank, at Lyle Swithenbank on Twitter, on TikTok, on YouTube, and, of course, at Lyle Pels on Instagram. Make sure you give us a follow on all of those. I appreciate all the support so far. We're building. We're having a big year. This is where you're going to find us all year long. We're back. So, Pels basketball, baby. It's about to start. 1 week to go. So, of course, stay safe and bye for now.